Okay. Good morning, dear Dr. Ndumba.
Morning, Mr. Ankome.
How are you doing today, bro?
Everything is fine today. We are very happy that the sun is out.
Okay. The reason why you are here is that I'm interviewing you about the plans that you presented on the module of range, intro to range. Okay. Tell me the experience of as an animal science of having that module of intro to range management.
Actually, having that module as an animal science student is very good because it actually enlighten us about what we must do to our animals, what we
Mm.
must feed our animals, how our rangeland should look, and how our pasture, plus also what our workers should consume.
Okay.
So it's very important. It's very good.
Okay. I would like to ask whether the lecturers, please mention their names. Have they done their job to feed you with the necessary information about the range management?
According to my perspective,
Mm.
the lecturers, which is Mr. Limo
Mm-hmm.
and Dr. Absalom,
Ah.
they've actually did a good job, but not as good as I expected. Because they just told us to plant these plants that you can see here,
Mm-hmm.
and just to choose any variety you want or any plant and plant it and represent it.
Okay.
So I think it would be better if they could like wait for us to harvest and then present the crops that we harvested.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But since time is lacking and you need CA for you to write that exam, I don't think maybe that was an appropriate suggestion, but it's a good suggestion though. If it was a year module,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
Dear Christian Dumba, can you please tell me what's uh, behind what is behind there?
As you can see here, these are 4 plant pots.
Mm.
There is tomatoes grown in these 4 plant pots. Some have like 6 seedlings and some have 4 seedlings in
Yes, yes.
total. So here, as you can see, these plant pots, we planted them separately. Then we transplanted them. These were the main pots where the plants were. Then
Okay.
we transplanted them to here and here. So the reason for doing this is so that they can at least have space for them to grow properly. Then after that, we decided that because our tomatoes were not growing straight anymore due to the fact that they are now becoming heavier,
Mm.
we've decided now to design something that looks like this.
Okay. So design, or how did you come up with that design? Just how?
Okay. Actually, we were thinking,
Mm.
we're looking at the tomatoes, the way they were growing towards the ground because they were now becoming heavier.
Mm.
And we were like, what can we do to help them and support them so they can grow longer?
Okay.
Then we decided, me and Ankome, that we must actually get sticks, just sticks from the indigenous area.
Yes.
Then we decided now that we must put them in the plant pot, tie them properly with solar tape, so that these tomatoes can now start to grow and fold or twinkle itself against the sticks,
Mm.
so that it can get support and so that the fruits as well, when they will be ripped, they must be big and having more nutrition.
Mm.
Because if you look at tomatoes, tomato plants like support. So if you don't put this, they will be shorter and they will reap less fruits and the fruits will be small. So you have to provide support in order for them to give us a good harvest.
Okay. Mr. Christian,
Mm.
Mr. Ndumba, you have mentioned the word fruits. When do you expect us to get those tomato fruits?
Um, Actually, we expect to get these tomato fruits maybe 4 weeks from now on.
Okay.
Yeah, because approximately these plants are now around about 5 to 9 weeks old.
Mm.
So by 4 weeks from now on, we expect at least to see flowers and fruits to start forming. But that's not the time we'll start harvesting them. And maybe I will only harvest them after probably maybe 10 weeks.
Mm.
Yeah. So this simply means that these plants are now maybe 9 weeks old or 5 weeks old, and from 5 to 9. Yeah. So the tomato fruit, in order for it to be ripped and ready, we should, I think, wait for a month to come as well.
Okay.
Then from there we can harvest them, distribute them, and people can be able to enjoy our harvest without any complaint.
Dr. Christian, do you think that after you're done planting those 4 plots, will you indulge yourself in having a business of planting tomatoes and selling them, as Windhoek has few tomato markets?
Um, Actually, to delve into deep about that, I think I personally will be able to sell this if they reap properly. Because Windhoek, as we know, there is less tomatoes, it's a dry area. People need some fruit veggies, because a tomato is called a fruit veggie due to the discussion that is still ongoing about it being called a fruit or a vegetable. So we must be able to sell this and provide food for the local communities. Because most people buy tomatoes without knowing that a tomato is very easy to grow.
Exactly.
If you plant it this way, you will not have to buy tomatoes anymore. At least even for a month, you will be using your own tomatoes which you grew. Yeah, so I'm planning on also in the future, if I have a good capital, the future I'm talking about tomorrow, the day to come, and the month to come.
Okay.
If we have capital, I can try to maybe get at least an area where I can be able now to actually expand this type of business, so that we can at least have food for local communities. I'm not aiming to support the country as a whole yet. Yeah, so first we can still start at the local level, then from there we can now start to export and import and national level.
Okay. Dr. Ndumba,
Yeah.
I would like you just to emphasize that, like explain it to the animal science students that whether even if you are doing animal science, you can still indulge in crops. Yeah, like for you examples, you have your tomato crops there, but you are still doing animal science. Can you please just tell them that there's a possibility, a large possibility, that you can have your animals on your farm and also your crops. Yeah, like the tomatoes, you can have two dual farms where you can have your crops this side and also your tomatoes